So I was talking about this software. This is what you call Stata. This is what we're going to learn today. And I was saying it's really important. Introduction to Stata. This is a software to Stata, and I'd explain how Stata came to be. So saying it can help us do data management, data cleaning, data management, data visualization, visualization. Yeah. So it is majorly used by by researchers, majorly used by researchers in the field of science, medical sciences, field of human sciences, majorly used in the field of research. So if you're conducting any research, research is something that is it will forever be there. People will be conducting researches forever. It won't end because people will try to find out why things happen the way they happen, the way they happen. So research will form part of our lives for the rest of our lives. So we're going to use Stata, and this is how we're going to learn it. It's very simple. Number one, we're going to learn how to get data to Stata. How to get data to Stata. It's very simple. So the command we're going to learn is input. So there's a command called input. So commands will be written in that case. Then after that, that is manual how to get data into spaces. How to we're going to look out how to import. How to import. So to import is as simple as going to file, then import. So all commands are always written in there. So that is basically how to do it. Then once you understand how to get your data into the software, how do we explore data exploration? So it's called EDA. So exploratory data analysis. This is what you call exploratory data analysis. So basically, this is where we are going to know how our data is coded, how our data is, how does it appear. So the commands are browse. That is a command. There's a command called browse. We're going to have a command called describe, and there's a command called codebook, and finally there's a command called list. So you can list your variables. This is basically how to see how your variables have been coded. The next thing is how to edit. Under data exploring our data, how can you edit your data? So there's a command called how to edit. Let me just put it there. How to edit our data. So the commands you're going to use here is called edit. It's as simple as that. So edit, this one allows you to alter the information in the software. Allows you to alter the information in the software or data. Not information. Let me talk about data in Stata. That is called edit. The command is called edit. You need to know, remember that. After that, we'll know how to run just the normal descriptive stat. We know how to now do frequency, and we said frequencies are done for categorical data, right? Sylvester, do you remember? Just yesterday. Then we learn how to run, for example, measures of central tendency. Which is done for numerical variables. Is that true? So we are going to learn it in 3 steps. The first one is basically how to explore our data, how to edit, how to do frequencies, and finally inferential statistics, like just we did the other day, which involves as simple as correlation. And correlation has a command of the command is core. So basically core gives you correlation. The same thing we have for chi-square. So the chi-square we did yesterday, chi-square. Here we are going to have a command called tabulate. So the command here is tab, then variable, and finally chi2. So chi2 specifies chi-square. After that, we will do t-test like we did. So t-test as simple as the command is t-test. Then t-test, then variables. Let me just make sure it's using t-test. Right, taking a t. So the command is t-test, variable. Then we have some option called by. So this is where we have the category called variable. So this is going to be numeric variable. Then this is going to be categorical variable. So it's as simple as that. Then finally, the easiest one is regression. So for regression, we're going to learn the command is regress. So regress, then the dependent variable, dependent variable, followed by independent variable. So basically, it's as simple as that. There's nothing it's not any complicated. I don't want to ignore. I want to ignore. I want to ignore these ones. So it's very simple. This is basically the structure. Somebody asked me to give the structure of whatever we're going to learn before class, so at least they can always know what we are going to do. That's why I started by now giving us the structure of whatever we're going to learn. So these t-tests are very simple. The same explanation, the same procedure how we did them with SPSS. It's very simple. So the most work we are going to do here is now how do we explore, and you will see how exploring our data is very simple. So let's start by understanding the interface of this software. So today we're just going to understand the interface and how to get our data into the software. So the first thing is I have various windows here. If you open your Stata, there are various windows. So the first window you can see, the first thing you can see is at the top. Whatever appear at the top is what we call the taskbar. So taskbar, you know it by default. This is what we call a taskbar. Taskbar. So basically, it tells us the software, gives us the software version, and file name. So if I save this file, it will give the file name. Okay. The next thing you're seeing are these tabs. So there are tabs here and a ribbon. So tabs are basically these are basically tabs. There is nothing else about that. That is basically tabs. So it's as simple as that. Tabs and other tabs. Let me join. I want to join with this other laptop too. It's to just a moment. So basically, just a moment. I allow. Welcome, Cyrus, and we're talking about the interface of this software. And sorry for that. It's echo. No problem. It's the echo that I'm having between the two laptops. So the first thing you're seeing on top is what you call a taskbar. Then there is these files. These are basically tabs, normal tabs. Then whatever you're seeing on the other side is what you call a review window. So this is called a review window. Let me. This is what you call a review window. So a review window, this is basically where it has like history, stores all the codes that you've typed. So acts like our history, acts as history. So if you write any command, they'll be stored at this point. You can rerun the commands from this point. So you can rerun the commands from this window. Okay. The next thing is whatever you're seeing, the biggest thing you're seeing here. The biggest thing you're seeing here. So the biggest thing you're seeing here is basically what you call. So the biggest thing you're seeing here is what you call the result window. So this is what you call a results window. Results stroke output. Results stroke output window. Output window. So this is where we'll see our results. So we have output stroke results window. This is where we will get our output stroke results. Basically, that is where we get our output result. It also displays codes. In addition, it also displays codes. Okay, so that is it. The next part is whatever appears here, whatever appears down here. Sorry. So whatever appears down here, this is what you call what? The command window. Command window. So command window is basically where we type it. It gives us the command line. It gives us the command line. So it gives us the command line, and it's where we can get. It's basically where we write our commands. We will write our commands. Is that okay? The next one is what appears on the other side. This is what you call a variable window. So a variable window, this is a variable window. And for variable window, basically, this is where the variables in a data set that is open in current session will be shown. So this is where the variables in a data set that is open will appear. Open in current session appear. So basically, that is as simple as that. The last one is what we have down here. This is what we call property window. So this is property window. So for property window, it shows basically details about our variables. How it is stored, number of observation, the format, number of observation, and It also displays the variable name and label. Displays variable selected and what? Label. Okay. We can also edit edit variables from this point. You can also edit. You can also edit variables from this point. So basically, it's that simple. So we have those 5 windows. The review window. The review window is here. The command window is here. Whatever the biggest interface here is what we call the results window, and it basically shows the variable. It shows our relative results. Then lastly, we have what we call the output window and the property window. Sorry for the spelling of property, but it's, you understand. So we have these ones. So 1, 2, then this is 3, 4, and 5. So we have 5 windows. Let me save that. And that is basically how to understand the interface of software, of this software. So the next thing I'm going to is, what if you don't have these windows? Assuming you get to an interview, they tell you to showcase your knowledge on Stata, and you find something that looks this whatever you're seeing here. So how do you get those other windows? If you come to this tab called window, there is a result window, already the biggest. There's a review window. Make sure it is pinned. The pin is facing down. The next one is a variable. We call the variable window, and it's there. The next one is the property, and the last one is the command. The command is the first one. So basically, you can see this is not pinned. Make sure it is pinned to adjust it to fit your screen. I don't know whether you guys are getting what I'm talking about. Are you guys understanding how the interface is? Okay, so that is basically the interface. So I want to create a fictitious dataset and show us how to get it into the software. So the first thing is you can copy paste data to this software. So let me open Excel, and assuming I have a dataset, I'm just going to create a few, maybe 3 variables. Assuming I'm having variable like ID, I have somebody's gender and somebody's course, and I have somebody's name, results. So maybe scores, marks. So I'm going to have, let's say, 1, 1, 1. That is the ID. 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, and 5. Maybe let's say, let me just enter 4, 4, 4. So basically, gender is, remember, gender is male and female, but here we're going to have male. We're going to give them 1 and 2. 1, 2, 1, and 2. So basically, that is how I'm going to give them. Courses, let me say I'm having statistics and med. So I'm going to have 2 for statistics and med for 1. Then marks are basically direct marks. So I'm going to have 70, 80. I'm just having a random number. So basically, assuming I have this information and I want to get it into my software. So how do I do that? The first option and the easiest option to get your data into Stata, just copy paste. Control A, Control C. Come to your software. The first command that we talked about is edit. So edit allows you to edit or alter the software. So how do I paste? Click write edit node, and number one thing you need to remember when writing codes, now that you're starting to write codes, all commands are written in lowercase. All codes are written in lowercase. Let me mention that one in this text. So remember, all codes, all commands are written in lowercase. So this is rule number 1. Rule 1. So all commands to codes are written in lowercase. So it's very simple. Just write them in lowercase. The next thing is, if I want to add copy paste that data into this software. The first command that I need to write is edit. So if I type edit and execute by pressing enter, then it gives me this editor mode, and I can just click Control V, and it will ask me, do you want to paste first row as variable name? So basically that is what I want, and that is it. So assuming you didn't paste first row as variable names, let's see what happens. So to remove everything, there's a command called clear. So I can edit again. So instead of typing edit, I come to my review window and click on it. So it will just show up down here. Then press enter. So if I press and I just click data, I don't click as variable name. See what happens. So it creates for me different variable names. I want you to see that again. I want you to see that again. If I just press edit and paste my data inside this software, you can now see it has what? The ID as the name. So those are the names of my variable, and you can now see that on the variable pane there is those variables. The next thing is, if you don't click that as variable names, you'll have these ones. You'll have var1, var2, which are names that it has created for you, and everything is now red, telling you something, as compared to now these are the one where everything is black. So there's something called color codes. Red represents string. String means you can't analyze them in this quantitative software. Remember even the other time. So this is what we need. Make sure you copy everything as what? You copy everything as you copy everything as having variable names. So I don't want to save, and I'm going to open it one more time. So I'm going to edit. Combine the command is edit. Then now paste and click OK. So you have my data in the software. Very simple. That is the easiest way. I'm even thinking of, I should not teach you any other thing apart from copy pasting. And how do I take it now importing? So I will save demo 3. So this is demo 3, and save it at my dead point. Then okay. Then how do I import? It's as simple, very simple. So to import is basically come to file, then import and choose Excel. Import, choose Excel, browse your file, then demo 3, then click open. It will have this one. You can see we have ABCD up here. So if you click import first row as variable name, look at it, basically promotes the first row as the variable name. So it's very clear. Then click OK. Your data is in this software, and you can see the command is import Excel. See, the path is here. If you click, you can see now I have the variables here. Very, very simple. Assuming we did the first one, we did it the first way by copy pasting. You can now see we don't have the labels. So how do I keep the labels? To get the labels, it's very simple. We can use commands, but I'm going to tell you the simplest way. Come to property window. There is this lock. Just click that lock, open, and click on the first variable, which is ID. You will see it will show down here. You can now edit. For example, I can give it a label identification. So identification, and you can see if we didn't know how to edit it using this property window, then the command that we'll have written is label variable ID and then the identification we want to give it. So I'll do label variable, then the variable is gender. So I'll come to this other side. I'll come to this the variable view, then hover around it and click on it. Click on that arrow. So once you click on that arrow, it will bring that variable down. Then the label you want to give it, maybe just gender or respondent's gender. Again, something you need to master is just make sure it's in those speech marks, because this is text, and for you to understand that this is text, you need to make sure it's in those speech marks. So click OK, and you can now see we have them here. So basically it's simple. Make sure this unlock is imejifungua, you open it, then course. This is basically course. The next one is this one, then this is label, the same marks, maybe just results. results. As simple as that. Once you're done, just click close, and we have labeled. We have labeled all our variables. Very simple. Okay, that is very simple. That is very simple. So how to get your data into this software? Very simple. Just click the command edit. Edit allows you to edit whatever appears there. You can now say I can even edit whatever is here. So 444. Again, there is, apart from edit mode, there is what you call browse mode. So browse mode enables you to browse. So browse mode is you're browsing and you can't edit. You can get that sound. I can't edit. But if I type edit mode allows you, the windows is the same. This one allows you to edit, and I can edit and remove some. I can edit and add some. So basically, it's as simple as that. The last thing I'm doing is called, how do I tell the software that one is male and two is female? One is male and two is female. So there are two commands that you're going to learn. So we have done importing and copy pasting. So importing and copy pasting. So these are the easiest way to do. So how do I tell the software that I'm having, how to label, let me call how to label values in Stata, how to label values in Stata. Telling the software that one is, i.e., telling the software that one is for male and two is female. So we are using two commands. The first one is called label define. Then the second command is called label value. Is that okay? So how do I do that? If you browse, you can see we have one and two. Now I want to tell it one is female, two is male. The same to course. One is statistics, two is medicine. So how do I do that? I do with two commands. The first one is called label define. So I'm going to write label define, but it is not a must. This is not a must. In statistics, we use numbers, and numbers represent things. That's why sometimes you just see the numbers one. So basically, you can just work with them as numbers. In most cases, you will see people working with them as numbers because they know what is one, two, three, and four. They have what you call a code book to explain what are those things. So at this point, we're going to do what? Uh, uh, we are going to label define. That is the first command, and the variable we want to define is gender. Call the variable you want to define. Then we want to say one and put it in one to represent female. Then close again. Then two space to represent male. Then close it. Close it again. Press enter. If you browse to see, so browsing is basically seeing what has happened. So br state allows us to edit, to actually uh, shorten some commands. So I can write browse in full, or I can just write br. So if I write br again, it browses. You can see there's nothing that has happened. But now if I write the second command, which I've said is value label. So basically what it does is it's going to look for this value and label them male and female. So label value, and label value, which variable do you want to label? We're going to label gender, and we want to label it twice because we have two categories. That's why we are calling it twice. So I'm going to say gender because I have two categories. If you have three categories, you call it thrice: gender, to make sure that if it sees the first gender, it knows that is a female. If it sees, if this code finds the second gender, that is a male. So basically that is how this code functions. If I press enter and now I want to see what happens at the back end, I browse. So browsing, you can now see I have male and female well labeled. The same thing. Let me repeat the same concept using course. So I want to do course, I want to edit course kwanza.